Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Harakah Kadash. The one to say apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Shalom to all the brothers doing the work of sharing truth. I was just meditating on you know, receiving direction and instruction, and then as well, rebellion. Because when you look at, you know, all aspects of this system, this realm, this current rulership, it's kind of off the back, built off the back of what's it called? That rebellion, that spirit. Esau has that not upright spirit where he's essentially trying to assert his own views of what rulership should be, what order should be, etc. And all of that is basically just in rebellion, going against righteousness, because he's essentially distillation of the left hand side, man. He's just concentrated poison of the left hand side, where he's essentially been molded to to fulfill that role of the left hand side perfectly, which is why he goes against everything righteous. And then you have the situation with Saul, where he's given instruction, and then what he doesn't want to hear it. He's essentially rebellious, and then what he gets the kingdom rent from him, and then the line gets established through David, because David followed instruction, and that's something that why now you have what the alphabet squad getting promoted, a man turned into a woman, these things now. These are all rebellion, trying to be, Esau trying to live forever when, the wages of sin is death. People out here living in sin, which is why they're being destroyed, why they're being judged, why cancer's an all-time high, all these things. That's something that can be observed and seen. But then, what do you call that? Something that can be observed and seen. But then what? Esau's essentially trying to utilize, his blessings that he's got, his technology, that wisdom he's been given, to try and essentially go around the spirit, go around, the order that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua set up. But all those things that he's doing, it ties into his identity, and it's really something that he like I said, he's just that perfect example you can kind of go to look at, like, yo, don't follow in anything this guy does. But then this scenario's, I was just meditating on it because it's a nice, clear idea, especially for a Jake, man. Because you'll have a lot of Jakes now where they're indulging in that wickedness, they're outdoing the wickedness of the wicked, Jake right now, especially, and because they've taken a cut. As far as if you're Israelite, you're bound by that covenant. So that rebellion gets a punishment. Okay. Let me read from verse 10. 1 Samuel 15:10. It says, "Then came the word of the Lord Yahweh unto Samuel, saying, It repenteth me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he has turned back from following me, and hath not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto the Lord Yahweh all night. And when Samuel rose early to meet Saul in the morning, it was told Samuel, saying, Saul came to Carmel, and behold, he set him up a place, and is gone about and passed on, and gone down to Gilgal. And Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said unto him, Blessed be thou of the Lord Yahweh, I have performed the commandment of the Lord. And Samuel said, What meaneth then this bleating of the sheep in my ears, and the lowing of the oxen which I hear? Because he was commanded, to not spare anything, not spare any of the bloodline, not spare any of the animals, and not take them. And a good example of like why you don't really messing with the shit of the land is because and that's something that you can see what do you call it just now in the modern day. So say you go to Esau's land, you'll to say you did go and fulfill, and then you take a dog back from there. Well, what's what do you have going on nowadays? You have a lot of these animals. You got freaks doing criminal activities with animals, all forms of bestiality and whatnot. These things are now you know the clarity on why you don't want to be messing with them. And then good example to go to the scriptures is the Babylonish garment. We had was it in it was in Joshua, I believe, when they're taking the land. It said don't take any of their goods. Um, well, no, I think it was more specific than that. But that garment was off the list. But then he took it because it had a shine to it. It must have had a shine to it, sparkle, whatever, something about it that just appealed to him. Then he didn't follow the instruction, and then what? He got judged through it. Another examples with Ananias and Sapphira, I believe, where they were meant to all put their goods together. They were meant to sell everything and pull it all together. But then they kept back a certain amount, and then because of that, they got judged. Because why? They couldn't follow the instruction. So it's, when you receive instruction, you got to follow it. That's something that's clear, and that rebellion, that rebellious spirit, that's something that's completely averse to the scriptures. If you got you're given a task, and role, an instruction, something you got to heed, then you're meant to fulfill it. That's being in the spirit correctly, man. And that's what essentially the pinnacle, the apex of that rebellion is what? It's Esau, man. Esau really encapsulates it. Everything he's doing now, everything is established. It's all completely averse to the scriptures. And this guy, he's got no excuse. Because it says what? Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will they not learn righteousness. Favor's been shown to him. He's been had the opportunities, the capabilities to do righteousness. Even right now, there's all kinds of issues in the world. This man, these elites could come together and solve countless issues that exist on the planet Earth right now, but they don't. Why? Because they're trying to establish their own thing. They're trying to utilize, maneuver through their own, set of rules and systems and ordinances they want to have established. Which it's gonna. That's why it's gonna result in their destruction. So what does it say? And Saul said, "They have brought them from the Amalekites, and for the people spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen, to sacrifice unto the Lord thy power, and the rest we have utterly destroyed." And it's funny because now that law of sacrifice isn't even in effect, because Yahushua was a sacrifice, legendary sacrifice to cover for the whole of Israel, for the whole of the elect, essentially, for them to be able to make it into the kingdom. So as far as when it comes to the offerings we make for our sins, we essentially have that ultimate covering. As long as you're counted within it, man, you're within it. Underneath grace, man. So it's like him doing that. It's funny down the line that it wouldn't even hold the value that he's trying to give to it, and then he's gonna go into it. It's like it's better. Well, I'll read it. So it says, and the rest will be utterly destroyed. Then Samuel said unto Saul, "Stay, and I will tell thee that what the Lord Yahweh hath said to me this night." And he said unto him, "Say on." And Samuel said, "When thou wast little in thine own sight, wast thou not made the head of the tribes of Israel? And the Lord Yahweh anointed thee king over Israel. And the Lord Yahweh sent thee on a journey and said, Go and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, and fight against them until they be consumed. Wherefore then didst thou not obey the voice of the Lord Yahweh, but didst fly upon the spoil, and didst evil in the sight of the Lord, Lord Yahweh. And Saul said unto Samuel, Yea, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord Yahweh, and have gone the way which the Lord Yahweh sent me, and have brought Agag, the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. But the people took of the spoil sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto Lord thy power, Lord Yahweh thy power in Gilgal. And Samuel said, Hath the Lord Yahweh as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord Yahweh? And yeah, obeying, giving heed. These are the things that have, far greater weight. That's why it's, being rebellious, trying to, because essentially all that Esau, this whole realm exists as a form of rebellion. And that's why Esau has, it's funny. Esau glorifies, those rebellions that he essentially, when it's, when it's him, when it's aligns with, his mindset. That's and essentially the ones that he did. Because a good example is, like the French Revolution. That's something that's taught in schools. That's something that's glorified, aggrandized. When you think it's like, what's it called? The 100 Days of Blood. I can't remember exactly, but them men were complete maniacs, man. They were, what you call it? They're out there beheading people non-stop, man. Them men tried to kill up everyone. Another good example is what's his name's rebellion, man? It's not the Barons' Rebellion. The British, was it the English Revolution? I can't remember the exact term for it. The one with Oliver Cromwell, where he had Charles I put to death. He made Charles II flee the country, with the Jakes, because they're descendants of King James. And then he established like a so-called republic. And then he went on the warpath against what do you call it, Ireland. But because that will be upheld within Esau's system, because why, they'll say it was the first republic, it was the liberty of the people, and blah blah blah. Meanwhile this guy's out here doing a madness. And then he essentially had people where it was like, yo, if you man in parliament are gonna vote for what I want to do, or you're gonna get put to the sword. If you guys are still trying to ride out for Charles II and whatnot, then man will be put to the sword. Like he went on a bloody rampage, but then that's upheld. And then principal example would be what you call that, is it Guy Fawkes? Where that guy is basically upheld as an icon. There's a high holy day within the society dedicated to him, because why and what he tried to do was kill off the the king, kill King James, man. That's what he was planning to do. But then why is it upheld? Because it's Esau, man. That's that's his doing. That's his mind. He's essentially trying to rebel against that order that's been rebelling against the scriptures, rebelling against the truth, rebelling against Yahweh, Al-Shai. Which obviously, King James, he put together the book. So as far as, that's something to be upheld for Esau. But then you go into the modern day, then, every rebellion isn't looked at like it's, something grand and great and glorious. Because why? Esau sets parameters on how he wants people to think about and deal with these things. Because why? He wants that particular form of rebellion, man. That do as thou wilt spirit. And that really aligns with, what he's all about. So what does it say? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. And yeah, rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft, which is why it's all that's when you deal with these elites, they're going into that heavy witchcraft. These guys are what? Spiritual. We it says what we battle against spiritual wickedness in high places. These elites are doing the utmost. Doing the utmost, man, in wickedness to try and achieve their aims. Which is why, all kinds of foulness goes on the earth. And, it's essentially seems like there's no, really, it's as the years go on. It says, evil men and seducers will wax worse. That's really what we're seeing. Evil men and seducers waxing worse. And all these, and really it's just being revealed that a lot of things have been brushed under the carpet, a lot of things have been hidden, a lot of things have been in the dark. But then what? Through the Spirit, those things are coming out, man. Esau's tongue's falling on himself, Everything, that's been hid is being revealed, man. They've made bare the leg. So you're seeing all kinds of criminality that's been going out, the whole so-called shine, so-called, that glorious American, dream. These things have now been, a light, what's it called, a black light, a UV light, one of them lights that they use on crime scenes to find like blood stains and whatnot. One of those has been shunned, man, and the whole thing's just completely drenched in filth and blood and degeneracy. Because that's why it's that rebellious spirit, which is as witchcraft. It's completely, awry. It's off. And stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry, because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord Yahweh. He has also rejected thee from being king. Yeah. And that's why, you had the kingdom rent from him, and then David was set up. And that's the thing. It's like what you have now. Now when when you deal with the statue, when you deal with the beast, they had the era. They had the time to run. When you deal with the whole statue, that's all these different kingdoms. And as you go down, the metals change. And then when you get to the feet and 10 toes, and you got clay up in there, you got iron and miry clay. And these are all the heathen rulerships. But then what? There was going to be an end. Just that, Esau's rule is going to be rent from him. And then what is it? Daniel 7:18, I believe. The saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. It's not going to be something like, it's not going to be like when, Trump left office and then Thingy came in, what's his name? Biden came in. It ain't going to be like when Obeezy left office and Trump came in. It's gonna be through the Spirit, man. Missiles gonna be dropping. There's gonna be all kinds of calamitous events. All the prophecies are gonna be being fulfilled, man, and it's gonna culminate in what? America being destroyed, this kingdom, this rulership being ended, and the return of Yahweh Shai, man. So yeah, as far as for that rebellion, that has an end, and the end, is by violence, man, because that's the role it's been established to play, man. But did I read it? Okay, let me read a bit more. So it says, and Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of the Lord Yahweh and thy words, because I feared the people and obeyed their voice. Now therefore I pray thee, pardon my sin, and turn again with me, that I may worship the Lord Yahweh. And Samuel said unto Saul, I will not return with thee, for thou hast rejected the word of the Lord Yahweh, and the Lord Yahweh hath rejected thee from being king over Israel. Yeah, so it's done. Because I think, does it say, okay, or rent this day, giving it unto the neighbor. Okay, I think it's, yeah. Yeah. Wait. Okay, yeah. So, 1 Samuel 16 and 12, and he sent and brought him in, and now he was ruddy and withal of a beautiful countenance, and goodly to look to. And the Lord Jehovah said, Arise, anoint him, for this is he. So, he's youthful. David, and it says, and then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren, and the Spirit of the Lord Jehovah came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel rose up and went to Ramah. But the Spirit of the Lord Jehovah departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord Jehovah troubled him. So yeah, after David got, established, he got anointed, he got as king over Israel. Then what? The spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua came off Saul, and the evil spirit troubled him. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is when it was prophesied for this place to come up, then everything was established, everything was set up, and now it's essentially in reverse. It's in decline. It's spiraling out, man. It's circling the drain, circling the toilet bowl. Now that spirit's been taken off this place, and said what? Destruction, man. So yeah, I'll leave it there, man. Shalom.